slowly set these things up. Alrighty, that's up. I'll fix up the mic in a second. Just trying to pieces. Ah, how you doing, man? How you doing? I've got to reset up a few things here. So just give me a second while I finish sorting out. But it's good to see you, QR. Ready for some F1, man? Oh no, that is working. Okay, good. But anyway, it works. Alrighty, I think I'm back. Back. Alright, yes. Okay, I am back. Just about solved. Damn it, didn't mean to do it. Alrighty. That seems to be working. Alrighty. We are here, we are in, it is F1 time, and I am ready. QR, hopefully you're still there and the connections come back for you. My OBS crashed earlier. So, yeah, that was unfortunate, but... You see you? You see me? Excellent. Yeah, my OBS crashed, it was weird. So hopefully it won't crash again. If it does crash again, I will restart my computer, but it's, you know, it'll probably give me maybe 5 minutes and then it'll be back. So I will be back if it crashes again. Oh, that was weird. Okay, let me... Alright, looks like I need to start this as well. Oh my god, everything... Zero, how you doing? Good morning, man. Good morning. Wow, looks like a few things crashed. That was weird. Thank you very much for the lurk, Zero. I appreciate it. You think you'll get to points? I'm not sure the Williams has it in it. I mean, we really haven't seen a proper race yet, but while I do think the Williams are stronger, that midfield though is just so strong now. Like, I think this year's midfield is going to be very interesting to watch this year. I think it's going to be fun to watch, more interesting than last year. Get the Wombat moving again. Alrighty. How is it not? No. Man, this is misbehaving. Wow, it really broke it, didn't it? Alright, they're on the formation lap. Yeah, it should be working this time. Oh. Alright, seems to be working again. Oh, God, this is taking much more than usual. Midfield, yeah, you reckon, yeah, the midfield I think is going to be interesting. It's going to be interesting to see where Ferrari is and McLaren. Like McLaren's looking fastish, but I don't think the race pace is there, unfortunately. It's going to be interesting to see how strong the Red Bull is, frankly, against the Mercs. They're looking strong so far. So, we still see how that plays out. And I think it's just like it'll be good if Red Bull and Mercs go at each other this year and actually a real competition, because that means there'll be something happening in the front, something happening in the midfield, and hopefully Williams by the end of the year can start sort of catching up to the end of that, you know, the end of that midfield. Actually, the other one, the AlphaTauri is looking very fast, very bloody fast. It does look very promising, and I believe the technical stuff is going into that coming from. Okay, that's happening from there. Okay, that makes more sense. Oh no. Oh, it's not just you, man. He absolutely needs his own show. Oh no, the steering wheel's coming off. Not Perez. I really wanted to see how he would go. And fix something. Okay, I'm just trying to. The chat box is not working now. I'll have to fix that. Aborted for extra formation lap. now. How about, okay. I don't know what happened there, but it should be all good for now. Wait, no. Alright. That should be better now. Man, this stream's been so buggy today. Alright, let's get this. Yeah, sorry, man. It's been so buggy. Oh, sorry, I'm hitting the mic while I'm trying to fix something. Alright. Ah! There we go. Everything is back up and running. Hopefully I can be heard. Everything's finally back up and running. This is the first race of the season. I am a little... Last time I was doing this, I was living in Singapore. So there's been a lot of change, but I'm back. Everything should be good now. Alrighty. So, at least it's been exciting so far. Who's... Science just basically went up the side of that Aston Martin. That's interesting. Alrighty, so there's already a gap forming between... Oh wait, no, it's to leader. The gap hasn't really formed yet. It's been pretty mental, man. Like, we're 7 laps in. I think they've only raced 3 laps. At least the crashes haven't been as bad as last year's Bahrain race. Oh, I need to do this, or it doesn't update. So Norris is... Oh, Norris. Norris is going to get him. Oh. There has been some good racing already this race. Like a lot of wheel to wheel, but no hitting each other, like the two McLarens earlier. Norris versus Leclerc. This could be really interesting this year. Changes that up a bit. Oh, that's not the one I wanted. That one. Was he going to get him? Oh, yep, there he goes, straight past him. Go on, Dan, your turn now. Yeah, what have you been thinking of Bottas this year? He has not been looking strong. I mean, we are only the first weekend, but really hasn't been looking strong this year. I think you'd you'd be pretty close to watching how he's been going. I know you're a big fan of Bottas. So that fourth to ninth are running pretty close to each other right now. Ocon needs to be going better. I mean, he's a long way behind his teammate. Yeah, he really does need to be hungry there. Mad Dog. Yeah, see, in this sport, they actually turn both ways, Mad Dog. They turn left and right. Yeah, I totally agree, QR. If Bottas doesn't go well this year, absolutely George will take his spot. And I mean that already showed from that Bahrain race last year that George was so strong. And if it wasn't for the tire issue, and I think he had to retire at one point as well, or maybe it was just the tire stuff, but the tire issue. If it wasn't for all that, he would have beaten Bottas. Bottas was very lucky that he wasn't beaten by him. Thank you very much for coming and hanging out for a bit there, Dog. Mad Dog, I really appreciate it, buddy. I'll talk to you soon. Have a great day. Have an awesome day, man. Absolutely, they failed it, and they failed both of them. Because what is it? They had to put the same tires back on Bottas, and he had to come in again as well. They failed both of them. Like, there's one thing I noticed last year is mistakes forming in McLaren's. Like, they used to be nothing ever went wrong. Like, they always did things right. You know, sometimes, very rarely, there'd be some sort of reliability issues, but they never. The team themselves never made bad decisions or anything like that. Or they never stuffed something up. But I noticed last year a number of times they were stuffing things up. They had Hamilton do a start in the wrong position. Like, all these things really started to creep in, and you know, it'd be interesting to see if that continues, because if they did that in a season where there was actually really strong competition, they would have lost. And Bottas, like, if George Russell does take his spot, Bottas I don't think would leave F1. Some other team would take him for sure. But this is his make or break year, I think, because George Russell is a very strong driver. Come on, Dan. Give it to Leclerc. I do like George Russell. I think of the three young guys, him, Leclerc, and Norris. I think George Russell is my pick of the three of them. I mean, Leclerc is very strong, and I think Norris is very strong as well. But I don't know. I think George Russell has something a little bit more. I mean, what he's been able to do in that Williams is crazy. Exactly. You don't want to be called a wingman, yet, you know, he's already 5 seconds behind Hamilton. And Hamilton is an amazing driver. Let's not forget about that. But yeah, it's very tough. It's very tough not being called a wingman when there's those gaps are more often there than not. And that's the tough thing. He's driving it's one of the best that's ever driven. So that's very tough. Yeah, it's on Ricardo. Yeah, I actually think Norris is a very good driver as well. The way I've just been so impressed with what Russell's done without Williams, and the McLaren is generally a pretty reasonable car. Um, especially last year compared to that Williams, and what Russell was able to do, get them into Q2s and things like that. That's something special. Now they may be put them in the same car, they may be pretty similar, but I've been very impressed with George Russell. So Ricardo, you've been left out there. This is your time to make a move. And yeah, like it'll be interesting because I rate Ricardo reasonably high. It'd be really interesting to see how Russell goes against him this year. Russell's had a few more years of experience now. He's the incumbent driver. He knows the car better than Ricardo. Um, yeah, it's going to be interesting. Oh, he is behind Vettel. Yeah, he's in 11th. But Latifi is right behind him as well, so Latifi wasn't that close to him last year, so Latifi might have come up a bit as well, which will be good for Latifi. Come on, Dan. Alright, looks like the undercuts worked. Alonso's ahead of Ricardo now. But definitely the undercut is strong. Did get in front of Stroll, thank God for that. So Hamilton's trying to undercut Red Bull. This should be interesting. The undercut worked, definitely worked against Ricardo. Alonso was able to undercut him and get him, so this could make it interesting if Hamilton gets in front of Verstappen. He really needs to push now, and I actually think Bottas needs to run longer. He's not going to do any good for himself coming in now. I actually think he's got to try and run longer and go on a different tyre strategy and have fresher tyres for the end. Because right now he's if he pits now, they're pitting him for third, and you don't really want that. This better be a damn good pit stop by Red Bull. What? He stayed out? Why did he stay out? Are they going to go for better tyres at the end? I mean, I don't know exactly how long those heavies are going to last, but those hards, but 50 laps is a long time for tyres to last. So maybe they're playing the long game, Red Bull, which will make this very interesting. I think they're going to try and run longer. I mean, that's 50 laps is a long time for hards. The Verstappen's already done. Yeah, definitely running longer. They didn't even bring him that lap. Oh, cool. Ricardo got past Alonso. Sainz is in the pits. I can't remember how to say the Japanese driver's name. Yeah, this is. I mean, Verstappen, Hamilton's going almost 3 seconds faster a lap. That is tough to give up. This is getting good, man. This is getting interesting. If they need to run long now and have better tires for the end of the race. So now they're actually, now that Red Bull stayed out, Bottas is a hell of a lot more important to them. Although I think Bottas just pitted. Yeah, he just pitted. So what they're going to do now is they're going for a second position for him. If Red Bull go very long, they're going for a second position. They want to get how Perez is in third. Holy crap! I did not notice that. So Perez has come from last place to third. That is, I mean, he's a reasonable way behind, but that's still pretty good. He hasn't pitted yet, so that's something. And if he pits, he'll be down around. It'd be down around 11th, 12th. But still, interesting. Yeah, he's moving through slowly. If he pits now, he hasn't pit yet. Well, he has, but he does have fresh medium, so he can last a bit longer. But if he pits right now, he'll be down around 11th. So I think he'll probably end up getting up into around the 6th and 7th position, maybe even 5th by the end of the race. They have. They've pitted him late. This is probably going to put. This is going to put him a reasonable way behind Hamilton, but ahead of Bottas. Yeah, absolutely crucial. It was slightly slow, but on the whole, not overly slow. He's 6.6 behind. Now, I do think the Red Bulls are a faster race car. Their race pace, I do believe, is better than. Oh, excuse me. Than the Mercedes. Exactly. This is it was the midfield that kept last year interesting because that it went down to the last race which team was going to get third. Albon wasn't it, and I actually think Albon isn't terrible, and I do think he's an F1 capable. It's very hard going into that Red Bull. That Red Bull is not designed to drive easy. So I was just watching something there. The Red Bull is not designed to be an easy car to drive. It's designed to be driven on the edge and to be slippery as hell. And the F1 is a massive step up compared to F2. Just the amount of speed and everything. I think he just needs more time. Absolutely needs more time. I don't think there was, you know, I don't think even George Russell or Norris could have done the same, because well, you saw George Russell in the Merc. The Merc is designed to drive different. It's designed to drive smooth, because that's what really suits Hamilton's driving style. Where Red Bull and Adrian Newey likes to have it on the bleeding edge, and I think that's what makes it. I mean, look what Gasly did. He came there. He couldn't drive it. Went straight back to Toro Rosso at the time, and he was already racing better in Toro Rosso. Like his races were so much better as soon as he was back in the Toro Rosso. It's just a very hard car to drive, and Albon just needs more time. I think he'll be back. I actually think he'll be back in that car at some point, but I don't think Gasly's going to end up back in that car. He might, but I get the feeling he's going to be like a Carlos Sainz. That, you know, in a year or two time, he's going to leave and go to another team. I get the feeling that's what's going to happen with Gasly. Gasly's, I think, a pretty damn good driver as well, but just the way they talk about it, they're not. I think he's raced really well, and Red Bull just doesn't really seem to have an interest in getting him back. So that could mean there's more of a deeper seated issue with Gasly. It's not just his skill, but it's maybe he can't give the technical know-how that they're really looking for from a driver. He can't really help describe what's wrong with a car. I think he will be as well. I just think, like, the way Red Bull talked, they had no reason to bring him back. They want a driver that, like, a complete driver, and there's got to be something with him that is just holding him back, and it could be just the technical side. He's not good at saying what's wrong with the car and how to fix it, where, you know, all the best drivers are. Oh, got to bring up that. I think it could be a few years. I think maybe 2 years, and he'll end up in the Alpine. Maybe even next year, frankly. If he doesn't look like he's going to get another run in Red Bull, actually, and I don't know when his actual contract finishes, but if the end of this contract doesn't think he's going to get in Red Bull, he'll look at another car. Yeah, Vettel and Alonso. I know. So Verstappen's taken about a second and a half off Hamilton. Still a long way to go, so we've got time for them to catch up. I really do think that this year could turn into really interesting, you know, that Mercedes, Red Bull up the front, creating problems for each other. And then McLaren, Ferrari, maybe the Aston Martins, maybe the Alpines as well, and Gasly in the AlphaTauri is pretty strong as well. That midfield could be really fun to watch. Be interesting to see how science goes in Ferrari as well. And you do have to remember these drivers who are in these cars for the first time racing. You got to give them a few races to get comfortable with the cars. I know, it's good, man. It's good. This is what we watch F1 for. This is what we watch F1 for. God, I need you to catch up to Leclerc. Get your butt moving, buddy. He's actually running in almost the exact same speed as Leclerc. Actually, Norris, Leclerc, and Ricciardo are all running about the exact same speed. So Alonso really screwed Vettel over there. Got in front of him, screwed him up, giving Sainz a much better run. I do as well. They're a little bit too far apart so far. So between Verstappen and Bottas, a little too far behind. Oh, bye Vettel. Have a good little run off there. And then sort of Norris to Ricciardo. They're not really sure. Like this is probably the closest fight going on the track right now. No, that was Vettel, man. That was that. I think his tyres are going. I don't think he's pitted yet, has he? No, he must have pitted. Be wary he must have pitted. Oh, Verstappen in striking distance in 6 laps. So, I haven't seen the tyre graph yet there, QR. Are they struggling to find which wall to throw the shit at to make it? Yeah, so Verstappen took a while to get those tyres. Wait a second. Verstappen started on the mediums, didn't he? So Verstappen's going to have to pit again. I thought Verstappen was going to come out on the hards, but he came out on the mediums, which means he definitely has to pin again. But I also don't think the hards are going to last till the end. But I mean, yeah, I mean, can the hards last to the end? That's a lot of time to make up. I mean, firstly, he's got to pass Hamilton, and then get to the point where he's probably only around about 10 seconds behind, and give him about 15 laps to catch that up on. I mean, he probably could run soft tyres, but I don't think the soft tyres last very long on this racetrack. He went down to 9. That's actually better than what I thought it was going to be. So that's worked out much better for him. And he's very close behind Sainz. So he might be able to get up past them. Sonata, that's his name. The Japanese guy, Sonata. I have to remember that name. That's the name of the new names that I've been struggling to remember is Sonata. Mazepin, I remember. Sonata. Sonoda. I think he's actually done some. I think he's been doing pretty well. I think he could be really interesting to watch as well. I mean, only first weekend, we haven't seen really too much of him, but I actually think he could be quite interesting. Come on, Perez. I'd like to see Perez go really well in this Red Bull this year. I would like to see him really up there, you know, fighting for those podium spots. Yeah, I think so as well. I think there's a lot of under the radar drivers. There's also a lot of drivers and moves that's going to take a few races before they're ready, like Ricardo, Carlos Sainz, yeah, even Vettel. All these guys that made a move, they've got to get used to the car, because they always race a lot different than the others, and they really don't get a lot of time to practice in them. There's 3 days of train of the testing, but the one thing that you don't get to do in testing is following other cars and seeing what the car behaves like in dirty air, which also makes it very hard. I think it's going to take a while for Mick won't. He won't get up there. That Haas is terrible this year. I think they're going to be the last car that Mick Schumacher. Is that who you're talking about though, Mick Schumacher? Ricardo's dropped off the place of Leclerc. Yeah, yeah, okay, cool. Yeah, that Haas is terrible, frankly. Gasly's not going well. He must have had a lot of floor damage on that AlphaTauri. Did Sonoda get another one? Oh, just flies past Alonso. Come on, Perez. Get past Stroll. Yeah, I'm going to be keeping my eyes. There was, I can't remember what it was. I think it was Q1 of qualifying, and he qualified really well in that. I don't think he did in Q2 though. But yeah, he might actually be. I think he could be a very good driver. I've heard really good things about him. I haven't watched him race at all, so this is the first time watching a race, but I have heard really good things about him. Alrighty, well, Perez is coming for Ricardo now. And you'll probably catch him. I think he's faster. So for, like, the last lap they did pretty much a similar, but he was in a fight with Stroll for that race, so Verstappen's getting close to Hamilton. Yeah, I have heard some good things about him. Oh, wow. Hamilton ran very wide there. If he does that again, he could... That is actually over track limits where he just went, which means if he does that again, we would start getting warnings. I don't know what exactly happens after a bunch of warnings for running wide. They might give a time penalty, but you definitely have a few goes. So if this Honda engine is as good as what it's playing out to be, and Red Bull's always had very strong aerodynamics, they could be a very strong car this year. Whoa. That is not long on the hards. That... Interesting. Were the hard tires really getting that bad? Because I still would have thought it'd be better to run it longer. That wasn't a good one. That wasn't a good pit by the Aston Martin team. So it's definitely a two-stopper. That's possible, but I don't think they would like to do a four-stopper. I think he's going to try and... Excuse me. Oh, excuse me. It is 3 a.m. in the morning. Sorry about that. I don't think they would. I think there's still more life in those hards. They just wanted to kind of split the two cars to create problems for the Red Bull. Well, exactly. That's what Bottas needs to. He's 5.5 seconds behind, and God, he's half a second slower. That might have been back markers though. So at this point, he's not going to. So basically, what they're going to do with Bottas, if he's not going to be nearly as fast, they're just going to use him to go. Well, look, we have one running long, we have one running short. What's your call, Red Bull? That's what they're going to do. The undercut is very strong. Oh, yeah, 3 a.m. is not a good time to watch it. So Bottas is pitted. Lee. Are they really seeing those tyres that slowly? They're not doing... What are they doing? Well, that was a terrible pit stop. I see. This is one thing that I've noticed with Mercedes starting this year. What's the point of that? Like, they made him run longer for no reason. Like, they should have brought him in a few laps ago. Yeah, the lap after Hamilton. I don't know, man. Like, it's just this. This is exactly what I was saying. Mercedes are doing weird things now. Like, I see what they did with Hamilton. I understand that choice, but then they left Bottas out for a few more laps, which basically screwed him over. And that really did a number on Bottas. I noticed that earlier as well. Like, he was using it. I saw Hamilton using it, so. So Hamilton's currently running faster on the new tyres. Hmm. Oh, excuse me, yeah. Ah. So who they're bringing in? They're bringing Ricardo. They brought in Ricardo before Norris. Interesting. Why did they bring in Ricardo before Norris? Was it to cover off that Ferrari? I agree, Q. I don't know what's going to go on this race. Can those hards make it to the end? I get the feeling Verstappen's going to run a little longer and make sure he only does a two-stopper. But can the Mercedes do a two-stopper? Like, can they go to the end? If not, they have to get another pit in. Damn it. Alonso out. Yeah, it's apparently, I think they was saying it was brake issues. So they've now pitted Norris. He should come out in front of Leclerc. There we go. Go on, Sonata. Not bad. 2.7. Sonoda. I keep saying Sonata. Sonoda. Yeah, I think I think Hamilton's going to struggle getting to the end. I'm not sure those hards can do it. Hmm. The Red Bull still needs to do one more pit stop, which I could actually see them doing in probably the next 3 to 4 laps, and running 20 laps on the hard tires. And if they do that right now, Verstappen will only be 3 seconds behind Hamilton. Maybe a little bit more. I've taken 20 seconds as the pit stop timer, or maybe a little bit more. They're saying they'd come out 6 seconds behind Hamilton. Jeez, Russell's up there in 10th, man. The pace isn't that good right now. I mean, Hamilton's currently racing, you know, zero point 0.8 of a second faster than him. That pace is not going to be good enough to leave him out for a long time, because he'll just have such a much bigger gap to try and make up at the end. That's what I think it's going to be as well. The only outlier is if they do another Bottas pit, Perez getting in there somehow, because they're going to be running Perez long. Yeah, exactly. Remember, Verstappen does have to pit one more time. He hasn't run. He's only run medium tires so far. So he definitely has to pit. The Noda. That AlphaTauri is not a bad car. I actually think it's a reasonably strong car this year. Where is Vettel behind? Not that far. All right, Russell comes in. They said it can give McLaren a run. I think that AlphaTauri can. I think it's a very strong car. It's looking strong. You think he's got it? I don't know yet. I really don't know yet. He's running close to a second faster than Verstappen now. So Verstappen really does need to pit soon. Or he's going to have way too much to tackle at the end of the race and with not enough laps to do it. So he really needs to get a pit in now, get the hard tyres on, and push to the end of the race, because if he doesn't do it soon, he's screwed. It's a thought, yeah. It's tough to say. Like, I think he might be able to do it if he can make those tyres last long enough. And Verstappen stays out too long. That is definitely possible. Another nice pass by Sonoda. He's getting a few of them in today. Here they come. They're doing Verstappen now. Oh no. They're doing Perez. Interesting. They've got to get Verstappen in shortly. I mean, Hamilton's now only 13 seconds behind him. Yeah, I thought that was going to be Verstappen, but it was actually Perez. I am surprised they're leaving it so long. That they must know something in their strategy and their timings is the why they haven't. Okay, they're pitting Verstappen now. All right, Verstappen's in the pit. Let's see how quick this is. Quick one. Yeah, so he's come out 8.5 seconds behind Hamilton. It's a long way to go in 16 laps. Can Hamilton's tyres hold up? And look, Hamilton's pretty good on tyres. Like, he's very reliable on the tyres. So they could hold out. But what can Verstappen do to catch up? Yeah, this could be a really interesting. Getting the anxieties. This could be a really interesting finish. It'd be interesting to see, the lap times Verstappen can get off this. Verstappen's just done a faster sector 2. 0.7 of a second faster than Hamilton. I mean, if they can get these, if he can keep that up, get about a second a lap, he's going to be right on his ass in no time. Actually, he's already taken a second off him. He's already taken a second off Hamilton in a lap. Bottas is really in the middle of nowhere right now. He's racing himself. That's all he is. He's 8 seconds behind Verstappen and running a second and a half slower, unfortunately. Perez is chasing Ricciardo. He's only 3 seconds behind and running a second faster as well. So Perez is gonna get Ricciardo. May not get Leclerc though. So Perez will probably come in 6th. Ricciardo 7th. He has a slight chance getting Leclerc. He's really not pushing that much. Well, you know what? He might be. He might be at his level of what he can drive in that car. But he's definitely not. He's definitely not worrying Verstappen or Hamilton right now. All right, Verstappen's just taken another second off, so he's now 6.5 behind. These tyres will go out a bit, and so they will make it a little bit harder to do these laps. But he really needs to get into DRS zone. Perez is really catching Ricciardo. Absolutely. This is what we want to see this year. We want to see these two teams, you know, racing at the front. We want to see an actual battle at the front of the race for once. Getting real good. Jeez, Perez is really catching Ricciardo. He'll pass him in no time. Verstappen's still chasing him, still catching him. I don't think he would get. I don't think Perez will get close to Norris. He's too far ahead. Terrible Australian impressions. Really? I don't think he can make 4th. Needs to make up 12 seconds. 13 seconds once he passes Ricciardo? I don't think that's possible. I mean, it is slightly possible, but he's got 12 laps to make up. He's basically going to be doing a second lap, and if you have a look at the times right now, he's not doing a second faster than Norris. While he's probably getting a little slowed by Ricciardo because he is in the DRS zone. So let's see what happens when he gets past Ricciardo. Perez gets him. Yeah, late break. So Perez needs another 7.4 seconds to get to Leclerc, and then another 6 seconds. Yellow flag. What's the yellow flag for? Okay, it was gone. There's a quick yellow flag there. That was sorry, Vettel's been hit a few times. Oh, Vettel locked up. You didn't change line. You locked up and went right up his asshole, Vettel. Yeah. Absolutely Seb's fault. Yeah, that was right on Seb. Pretty bad that Vettel is getting shown up by Stroll right now. And I actually think Stroll's better than what a lot of people give him credit for. He's just not consistent yet. If he gets consistency, he's going to be a reasonably strong driver. But Vettel, God, Vettel, it is Vettel's first race in the car, so hopefully he can get it together. So Verstappen is only getting half a second now on Hamilton. It will still get him to Hamilton by the end of the race, but I don't actually think Verstappen's slowed down. I think Hamilton's sped up. Yeah, 10 laps left. It's going to be interesting towards the end. So we have a 2-week break. 2.9 seconds behind for Verstappen. This could get very interesting. In five laps, he'll be within striking distance. Under investigation, Sebastian Vettel and Ocon. We already know who's at fault there. They really need to let Verstappen past. Now he's through. Yeah, that actually really hurt Verstappen, that. Eight laps left. Yeah, they slowed him quite a bit. Look, what we already know, even if he doesn't actually overtake him here, there's going to be a fight at the front of these races this year. There's not just going to be Mercedes up the front. So he's going to be getting really into the dirty air of the Mercedes now. So this will slow down his speed a bit. Let the man race. Exactly. Come on. Let's see a fight at the front here. Who would your be driver of the day, QR? Perez? All right, he's 1.6 behind. He's almost in DRS range. 6 laps to go. This could be a very, very interesting end. I think I kind of agree with you. He's had a very solid race for a young kid, and he's had very good passing. I'm not sure why they voted for Perez. I mean, Perez was last at the beginning of the race, so he has gone from last to 6th, so there's that, but it really hasn't been an impressive drive. It's just been a good car drive. Damn, this is close. Oh, Verstappen's almost within DRS range. Oh, this is going to be interesting. This is pressure and pressure and bad tires. The tires are 10 laps older. This is pressure and tires. Ooh, he just came out to show him in the rear vision mirror that he's here. Ooh, this is getting real close. Very close. He's gonna have DRS coming down here. The Red Bull always does run better in dirty air than the Merc. Whoever this back marker is, hopefully they don't create problems. Come on, come on, come on. Will he get it on this straight? Ooh. This is so going to come down to the wire. No, he's got him. He's got him. Yeah, he was off the racetrack. What are they going to do there? The other thing is that Hamilton's been running off the track there all race. Oh, Verstappen gave it back. Holy shit! So what happened there? He was off the track going outside of Hamilton, and no, that's not sportsmanship. That is doing it before there was a demand from race control to say do it. So basically what happened is Red Bull would have said, give it back now, so we still have another race, have a chance at it. Because what would have happened, it would have been another two to three laps, and then race control would have said, give that place back, you didn't earn it. And then they wouldn't have had a chance to actually race it, or they would have done a penalty after the race. So that's something that happens a lot. If that happens, you'll often see them just give it back, so they don't have to worry about it. If they give it back, the race control doesn't care. Verstappen's slowing down. Yeah, I think he's blown the grip on the tires in that previous thing. Like, he really needs to get on his ass now. He needs to hopefully cool things down a bit, being that little bit further behind. But he's not. He's slower. He's much slower now. Oh no, he's coming back. Go on, Verstappen. Let's see this. But he really needs to do it now. He needs to do it on this lap or on the back straight. He needs to do it by the end of this lap, or sorry, on the main straight, or on this back straight on the next one, because he won't be able to do it coming off the last corner. He won't have enough time to get it. Alrighty. So he needs to do it on the back straight. I don't know if he'll. I don't. He's going to have to be right up on his ass coming into that back straight, or it's not going to be long enough. I don't think he's got it. I don't think he got it. Nah. Nah. Hamilton's got the race. You can't get it from here. Hamilton's got the race. Yeah, that back straight isn't long enough. to really work on for the DRS. That was close. That was very close. That was very, very close. So Hamilton, Verstappen, Bottas, Norris, Perez. So Perez did get Leclerc. He wasn't going to get Norris though. Ricciardo, Sainz, Stroll, and Tsunoda. First race in F1, he gets a point. That's an impressive ride. That's driver of the day for me. Yeah. Yeah, I agree. I think Tsunoda has raced really well. Tsunoda. Well, what do you think of the season ahead, QR? Do you think it's going to be interesting? Do you think it's going to be boring? He should have been driver of the day, yeah. I expect the rest. There'll be some tracks where one of the team like Mercs or Red Bull will be. I think we'll get away because some tracks are better aligned to other tracks, but I think on the whole it's going to be a very interesting season, and I think it's going to be an interesting season for third in the constructors as well. So they did get the instruction already from race control to hand that position back. So they did already get told by race control to let him pass. Alrighty, so 2 weeks time. It's Italy, I actually think, which is really weird to have so early on. Which track in Italy? Yeah, Italy already. Is there two Italys? There is two Italys. Okay, so this is one of this won't be Monza. It'll be one of the other tracks. But on that note, I'm going to leave it there because it is 20 to 4 in the morning and I need to get some sleep before work tomorrow. So QR, awesome to see you. Thank you so much for coming and hanging out again. 2 weeks time, we'll be doing it all again and looking forward to some interesting races. They did the right thing letting it through. They would have lost the spot anyway. So the sooner you can let them through, the more chance you have to pass them again. Thanks, QR. You have a great day, buddy, and I'll see you again in 2 weeks. I hope anyone else who came and joined enjoyed hanging out and listening to two people chat about the F1. You're more than welcome to come back anytime. Other than that, I will catch you all later. Time to get some sleep.